Hello, this is Gail, the Legacy Lady, and you are watching Legacy After Dark. I am here with Michele Santo, and I'm so excited to be having a conversation about something I don't really know a whole lot about. um, so, so I'll let Michele, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, thanks, Gail. Well, I'm here to fill you in on the world of EFT. Hi, everybody. I'm Michele Santo. I'm a women's EFT coach from Cranford, New Jersey. And I serve highly sensitive women because I'm one of them myself. And I know that life can be challenging when you have a lot of sensory overload. And I feel like EFT is a beautiful mind body technique to release stress.
So, how'd you get started with it?
It's kind of funny. It was one of those things that just kept popping up. And I'll preface it that it looks ridiculous. You're literally tapping on these points. You look like a monkey. You're like, what? From the outside, you look like, what in the world is this lady doing? And why should I listen to her? So I have been in personal development for like over 10 years, and I've always been obsessed with like studying success people and learning just how to improve myself like day to day, year to year. So I've done everything from like coaching, visualization, meditation, cleanses, vision boards, affirmations, um, you name it, I've tried it most
Yeah.
likely, but nothing was actually moving the needle. Like nothing was physically changing my life. And I feel like I was kind of on this journey of collecting information, but not embodying it.
Okay.
And what I think I was missing is that, if you want to make a change in your life, you have to actually access your emotions and change something about your physiology. And EFT does it really well because it's a mind body tool. So I saw somewhere that it's 55% more effective than talk therapy because
Okay.
you're actually impacting the brain and the energy systems in the body.
Okay. So, what is there something in oh is there an instance where you've been able to use EFT when there was something like my brain always goes to death and grief just because that's part of our topic. So is
Mhm.
there a time where you used it when that was something you needed to work through?
I had an aversion to numbers.
Okay.
So I was the girl that was always 5 minutes late. I don't know how my friends didn't ditch me. I was never comfortable with math or numbers or finances. I just kind of acted like that part of my life didn't exist
Yeah.
and that I was never going to be on time. I was always going to be messing up my math and, not being a good money manager. And it wasn't that time is against me. It's not that I can't figure out math. It was my negative beliefs or limiting beliefs about what was possible for me. Like I grew up and I think my father just said, we're Santos and we're always a little late. And so
Yes.
I
Yes.
obeyed and I was always a little late. And when you hear these things from people that you look up to, you kind of believe them almost to be true.
Yes.
So I was in a point in my life where I wasn't really advancing financially, and I'm like, oh, I would read all the books, I would go to the Tony Robbins seminars, I would talk to everybody about it. In black and white, you would just say, work more hours, make more money,
Yeah. No.
No.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Everything is energy and your energy emits a frequency. So if here I am thinking I'm bad at math, I'm bad
Right.
at numbers, the universe is going to show me instances where I'm not going to get to manage more money because I don't believe that I could do it. And my mom didn't, my father kind of handled the finances and she didn't want to look at it. And I guess I kind of absorb that way of being. And so as I tapped on my fears around time and money, um, it just kind of like unraveled. And I was like, oh my God, that's not who I am. That's not true. Just because I'm a better writer than I am with a calculator
Right.
doesn't mean I can't learn this part. Like I just had so many blocks around it. And, I disassociated those beliefs and I finally, money was starting to flow a little easier. And I was starting to say, okay, I don't have to get one more thing done before my appointment. It's okay,
Right.
save it for later.
Like there is time. Like it can wait. Yeah.
Yeah. But EFT is really good for like phobias or like anxiety or sadness, like grief. It's actually amazing. You'll feel better within like a few minutes. But if you have like unresolved things, like an unsettling memory from the past or something that just really plagues you, like you can't figure it out, it's best to work with like an EFT practitioner one on one. And I feel like change happens over time, like you'll improve your life within like months to a year. It's everybody heals in a different way.
Right.
But me personally, I didn't realize how stressed out I was until I started tapping.
Yes. It is like you kind of, until you're like, oh, that acknowledgement of it, like until you're actually trying to deal with it, it's like, oh, yeah, that's how bad that actually
Yeah.
is. Sure. Okay, self. Like, I see you.
Yeah, like stress, like you have mini traumas with like a lowercase t. Like someone looked at you the wrong way, and then you're like, oh, it's not safe to speak up. Or someone was like, why are you wearing that? And you're like, oh God, I can't be creative or share my art. And then there's big trauma T, uppercase T for big
Right.
trauma, like, losing a loved one or getting into a car accident or going through cancer, and it's a fantastic tool because you could literally like melt anxiety at, your fingertips.
So if someone doesn't know what it is at all, let's take a minute and explain that. Because that's
Okay,
me. Like I
that's
know
a
a little
good
bit.
place to start.
Good play. Like let's start at the beginning. Like what is it exactly?
Okay, so EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It frees you from these negative emotions and limiting beliefs that hold you back in your life. Um, it is a beautiful blend of like ancient Chinese medicine because you're tapping on these acupressure points. They're the same points that an acupuncturist would actually use a needle with,
Okay.
but instead, you're just tapping on them. And you're blending positive psychology together to actually, you're like rewiring these neural pathways in your brain to create more like empowering beliefs. But as you're tapping on these centers in the body, you're opening up the energy flow in your body so that
Right.
you don't, like when you hold on to negative emotions like grief or anger, that's a big one. Everyone's angry about something, right?
Yes.
It blocks the flow of energy to all of your systems and it can, eventually create disease in your body. So you do have, stress is like the number one thing that kills people. So,
Right.
you know, we tend to focus on the physical. What am I eating to improve my life? Look at my diet. Am I exercising?
Right.
you know, but you really have, it's very important to have an outlet to manage that stress so that you can let it go in a
Yes.
healthy way.
So how long have you been practicing?
I've been doing EFT on and off. I actually found out about EFT through the Ortner family. So they have the tappingsolution.com and they actually have an app, which is
Okay.
great. If you want to like learn, like if you want guided meditation, it's really accessible. I feel like I've seen it like over 5 years ago and I thought it was weird and I judged it and I would tap along with them on the videos and I'd close it out and be like, what has actually happened? Like I didn't
Right.
understand the science behind it. And I didn't really give it a chance, but it kept popping up.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I'll try it again. And then I'll
So,
try it again. And I'll
yeah.
try it again. And it wasn't until I actually did one of their programs. It was EFT for financial empowerment or something, and for
Okay.
personal fulfillment. And Gail, I was shocked. All I was doing was listening to an audio and
Right.
tapping along, but
Yeah.
praying for a miracle.
Maybe
That's
that was
how
the
it
maybe
worked.
that was the added part.
And I was shocked that I felt such a lightness in my body, like a shift, like an expansiveness. And I'm like, this is not even a live call. Well, I got to find a
Just a
practitioner.
recording. Just a recording.
That's it.
No. That's
I
amazing.
was like, it's doing something. I was like, I have to work with someone one-on-one. And so I went to Facebook and I just put a call out there. Hey, who's practicing to get their certification? Like, I
Right.
want to go deep. Let's do this. And then I started working one-on-one with someone and been tapping with them over a year. And I feel like my life has changed so much.
So is it something that you've like incorporated in a morning routine, or do you have a specific time that you do it at?
Oh, it's such a good question. I feel like I try to tap as often as I can. And some days I'll start my day, with like even 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay.
Well,
Seems like a
we'll
long
do a
time to
good
me.
thing. It does. Do you have children?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like 5 to 10 minutes seems like that's like an eternity to be able to sit quietly and just, yeah.
And then, sometimes I could like do it for an hour or like a half an hour.
So just like anytime during the day, does it ever
Well,
feel like it makes a difference? Like, is it better?
no,
No.
it works
Like,
every time.
okay. So it's not like it works better in the morning versus like at night. Is it
I think,
different though?
no, not
Okay.
necessarily. It's a good question. I feel that, people will gravitate towards maybe a morning or an evening routine, but honestly, the best time to tap is when,
You have time.
what hits the fan.
Oh yeah. Yes.
When you're in the thick of it and
Yeah.
you're feeling that, start tapping.
So is it, to me, it sounds like it's some of the action with the acupuncture, it's a little bit of meditation. And then are there like words of affirmation because you're listening to a guided meditation? Like, is there
Mhm.
instructions to like say things? And like, is that part of like some of that, like that inner dialogue, the way we change our inner dialogue, some of that happening too?
Yes.
Okay.
There is a format, um, but always be mindful that it's going to be most effective when you use your own words
Right.
to suit your story because it's resonating with you. So we always start with the karate chop point. This is just, side of your hand.
Right.
And you do the setup statement. And the setup statement is, even though, I feel, and insert the problem or negative emotion. The typical statement is, even though I feel sad, whatever it is,
Yeah.
I love and accept myself. And you say that 3 times.
Okay.
And then you start on the eyebrows, and then you go side of the eye, under the nose, like right in
Okay.
the cleft there. The chin is not actually on the chin. It's like in between, below your lip.
Yeah.
Collarbone point. There's lots of points over here. A lot of people do under the arm, which is
Okay.
like right where your bra line is.
Yeah.
I find that point annoying.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't want to move my arm.
Okay.
So I go like this.
Okay.
And I change it up every time. Sometimes I
Okay.
will do the arm. There actually is a liver point on the front of your ribs, like where they stick out in front. And then you go on the top of your head. So you can tap right on the top. You can tap on the sides. You can tap the back. And then you go around over again. So the process is the setup statement 3 times. And then you talk about the truth of how you feel, or like the negative emotions.
Right.
Now, there's a lot of people in the law of attraction space that are hesitant to talk about the negative, thinking that
Yes.
if I talk about the negative, I'm going to attract more negative. And I do understand that, but you have to feel your emotions to heal it, to
Right.
heal them. And so I watched an interview with Louise Hay from Hay House, and she said, in order to clean the sink, you got to look at the dirt,
Yeah. Yeah. You got to see where it is. You have to find it to get rid of it.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so I go through the negative round a couple of times and you get it out. And then your mind starts just naturally going towards how can I resolve this situation? What's the silver lining? And then
Right.
you'll tap a few rounds of, positive statements about what's possible or how what I'm learning from this, or maybe even where did I pick this up? Because a lot of these beliefs and emotions or patterns, if you will, they're not even ours. They're just conditioning from our upbringing.
What's one? So you talked a little bit about the finances. Is there another one from your upbringing that you have worked through using EFT?
I feel like, and I've had so many people tell me this, that if something's hard and they're like, hey, we need an extra volleyball player. And like, I start sweating because I never played sports.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm good. I can't come.
No, I can't. I'm not available. Yes.
I can't do it, and so I think I grew up thinking that if it's too hard, don't even bother trying,
Right.
So now I think I've instilled more confidence in myself that you could do anything, Michelle. Like you just put your mind to it.
Yeah. Do you think using the EFT process is like I do not want to use the word scale, but like sped up or like made that just more intrinsically a part of you, like instead of, because like the words of affirmation I think are, you know, they're powerful on their own, but when you couple it with meditation and all of these other pieces, like I feel like it would be kind of like a really awesome trifecta of you're literally hitting like all the points to make it faster isn't the right word, but like
Yes,
it's almost like getting on the highway. Like we're like getting on the like we're going on the on ramp, we're getting on the highway, and we're just moving faster than if we were like on surface streets. Maybe.
totally. No,
Okay.
that's a great analogy. It's a great way of looking at it. It's true.
Okay.
And the interesting thing is like the more consistent that you tap, like
Yeah.
the more regular you make this a part of your life, the faster the transformations happen because you're just this, there's less stuff to get rid of.
Right. Yes.
And they say like if you concentrate on a topic for an hour, right? So typically my one-on-one sessions are an hour
Okay.
and you block off the time, you will actually like double the connections in your brain, like the positive ones that are going
Right.
to help you, change your life.
Huh. That's amazing.
Yeah. And I was just on a webinar last night and they said that EFT, like in a scientific study, lowers your cortisol by 43%,
Okay. I mean,
which was interesting.
yeah.
And I read somewhere that I think I mentioned, I feel like it's more effective than talk therapy because you're actually getting your body involved. Because I feel like in talk therapy, and I'm not knocking it at all, I've done it. I think it's fantastic. You need someone that you trust to
Yes.
unload and unpack things. But I feel like EFT is just a little bit different.
I think it would be those would be two tools to like be used in conjunction with each other. I feel like it would
Hmm.
be good complementary things to be doing.
Totally. Yeah.
I like it. Okay, so do you have a book recommendation?
Oh, so many books. Oh my God. You should see. I just bought a bunch and I don't have them with me, but I just bought Peta Stapleton she just wrote this book called The Science Behind Tapping. And it's so fascinating. She's like one of the top EFT researchers in Australia.
Okay.
And she is bringing like to the mainstream, like the science behind They just found that it's like more effective than cognitive behavioral therapy, which is like when you'd go to a
Right.
therapist and they say, hey, be more mindful, which is great. And I feel like it only gets you so far because you actually have to. You're doing like emotional brain surgery. Like that's how I've heard it explained, and I do feel like it's true. You feel a shift, and you're like, what just happened? It sounds like too good to be true.
It
But
does.
I
It really
and
does
I
sound to be true. I'm like, okay, all right, like I'm down to try. Like I'm totally down to try. And I think it's one of those things where like it, I think when people find things that work that help them process whatever, like whatever you need to work through, like whatever works, like do the crap out of it. Like for me
yeah.
it's for me it's writing. So I
Mhm.
write the crap out of writing. Like I can, I haven't in a while, but when I really need to process something, I will do 10 to 15,000 words a week, sometimes more. Just across the board, and that's how I process. And so I think
Mhm.
the tapping is interesting. I used to have I was much better at doing meditation. So I actually had I had a yoga. When I lived in Phoenix, this is where this really started. When I lived in Phoenix, I did hot yoga, but
Mhm.
like recently people have been doing vinyasa hot yoga, which is like for crazy people. It's just like if you're doing vinyasa yoga, like I love you, you're amazing. Like you're not crazy. I swear. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that, but I cannot do vinyasa yoga. Like I just
Okay.
someday maybe I will do vinyasa yoga, and it's fine. But what I loved was Bikram yoga, and
Mhm.
I loved doing hot Bikram yoga because it was a 90-minute session and it was slow, controlled movements, controlled breath, and like just the only thing that existed in that moment was me, my body, and how I was moving.
Mhm.
And like those were I loved those sessions. They were amazing and I miss that so much. So what I took out of that here where I'm now is being able to do sun salutation poses, and I used to
Mhm.
do those before bed, and like it wasn't tapping, but it was that still controlled movement and only focusing on what was going on in my body, which I think um, is one way to do it. But anyways, I don't know why I shared all of that, but it was a good story, I guess.
Aw, I'm glad you found something that you liked. It's
Yeah,
really helpful
it is.
to move your body.
Yeah, I miss that a lot.
And I love
But
that you write. Do you journal every day? Or are you writing a book?
I've written a couple books
Mhm.
actually. So journaling every day. Yeah, I guess I journal every day. I don't usually sit with a journal and write in a journal. So the Legacy Recorder website is kind of my public journal. Like
Yeah.
it's everything I'm thinking about in regards to grief and death and storytelling. I used to have a much better journaling practice.
Mhm.
And I had a wonderful woman, Tiffany, who I worked with, I think for a year, um, to set up like working through a morning routine that worked well and like worked
Mhm.
around the kids. And a part of that was meditation and then actual journal practice writing, journaling, usually around one thought. And then allowing space for like putting one kid on the bus and then coming back to my morning routine and like having
Mhm.
that built those pieces built in. But I was thinking about the tapping and like where we actually tap. Like when I'm like stressed, I
Yeah.
actually tap
Yeah.
at my eyebrows,
Mhm.
or I'm here, or I am here. Like I
Mhm.
do this. Like, and I think even if people go back and watch my videos, you can tell if I'm okay or not because I'm like here, going like this, like trying to calm down. um,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think this would be a good spot. Do you want to share your demonstration with us, and I
Oh,
will follow
sure.
along because I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Okay. Well, I love that you're instinctively tapping. I think that's awesome. It's like the body just knows,
Right? It's just like,
you
oh,
know?
yes, yes, yes. And
When you're
that you're
stressed
right,
out, you're like, "Oh," you don't even
underneath
know
the
what
bra
you're
line
doing.
is really annoying.
Okay, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
skip it. Okay. Well, for the purposes of tonight, we will we'll just focus on general stress, anxiety, and maybe burnout. So the first part of the process is to close your eyes and tune into your body and really get clear on what your most pressing issue is. So, as I say the words, you know, obviously you can change them to suit your story because that's going to be most effective for you, having the most like stress release. So, just think of an issue, whatever it is. You're welcome to pop it in the chat if you feel comfortable. So when you have that thing, are you thinking of something, Gail?
Yes, I was had my eyes closed.
Oh, sorry. You can keep them closed.
Keep them closed. Okay. Yes.
Um, all right, tune in one more time and then notice how intense that negative feeling feels on a scale of 0, where it's kind of neutral, and on a scale of 0 to 10. So 10 being like it would keep you up at night. How intense does that feel for you?
Probably in the 8 category.
Okay, beautiful. All right, feel free to write it down. I'm going to note it down. And
Okay.
at the end of the session, we'll check in. I love essential oils and I like to incorporate them, with breath work in my sessions. So if anybody likes to use them, this would be the time to just put a little on your wrist. I have Abundance here. It smells so good. Lavender is good, frankincense, or even orange is very motivating. And then we will begin. So start on your karate chop point, and you're pretty much tapping like you would tap a baby's bottom, so not too soft, not too hard. And repeat after me. Even though I feel stressed out,
Even though I feel stressed out,
I'm choosing to love and accept myself.
I'm choosing to love and accept myself.
Even though I feel so burnt out,
Even though I feel so burnt out,
I'm just noticing how I feel.
I'm just noticing how I feel.
Even though I don't want to deal with this stress,
Even though I don't want to deal with this stress,
I know I'll be okay.
I know I'll be okay.
All right. So when you tap on the other points, you could use one hand, both hands. I like to use both hands.
Okay.
And you can't get it wrong.
Okay.
All right. So repeat after me. Here it is.
Here it is. Oh, shit.
Side of the eye.
Side of the eye.
You don't have to repeat that part.
Oh.
Just sorry.
That's okay. I was like, I'm just following directions.
You're good, Gail. All right. All these yucky feelings about stress.
Okay. All these yucky feelings about stress.
Under the eye, it's upsetting.
It's upsetting.
Under the nose, overwhelming.
Overwhelming.
And then tap on the chin. It's scary.
It's scary.
All right. Tap on your collarbone point. There are so many reasons.
There are so many reasons.
Why this is just too much.
Why this is just too much.
All right, we're going to skip the arm and go straight to the top of the head.
Okay.
And say, I can't believe this is happening.
I can't believe this is happening.
It hurts my heart.
It hurts my heart.
All right, eyebrow point. It's devastating.
It's devastating.
Side of the eye. It's disappointing.
It's disappointing.
Under the eye. And it's bothered me for a really long time.
And it's bothered me for a really long time.
All right, just take a deep breath in through your nose and let it go. All right, tap under your nose. It feels like I can't change this.
It feels like I can't change this.
Tap on your chin. It feels heavy.
It feels heavy.
Collarbone point. I feel sad.
I feel sad.
Top of the head. I'm just overwhelmed.
I'm just overwhelmed.
And I'm feeling all of this in my body.
And I'm feeling all of this in my body.
All right, take another deep breath in through your nose. Let it go. All right, eyebrow point. This really upsets me.
This really upsets me. Sorry. Like, let's just sit in it. We're just gonna sit in it.
Bothers me so much.
This bothers me so much.
Yuck.
Yuck.
All right, under the eye, all these negative feelings in my body.
All these negative feelings in my body.
Tap under your nose. When I think about it, it makes me feel crappy.
When I think about it, it makes me feel crappy.
Chin point. I'm going to honor all of this fear.
I'm going to honor all of this fear.
Collarbone point, and how hard it's been for me.
And how hard it's been for me.
All right, top of the head. Just worrying about this.
Worrying about this.
All the time.
All the time.
No wonder why I'm so stressed.
No wonder why I'm so stressed.
Eyebrow point. It's so frustrating.
It's so frustrating.
Side of the eye. I feel like no one understands.
I feel like no one understands.
Under the eye. No matter what I do.
No matter what I do.
I can't fix this.
I can't fix this.
All right, take a deep breath in through your nose. And let it go. All right, tapping under your nose. I want to blame someone else.
I want to blame someone else.
Maybe I blame myself.
Maybe I blame myself.
All right, chin point. For carrying all this baggage around.
For carrying all this baggage around.
Where did I get this idea?
Where did I get this idea?
I
was gonna.
Collarbone point. Where did I pick this up from?
Where did I pick this up from?
How old was I when I started to worry about this?
How old was I when I started to worry about this?
All right, just for fun, we're going to tap our wrists together.
Okay.
So actually our points on the hand.
Okay.
And you could use these like when you're in public and you don't want anyone to know you're tapping.
Okay. I think I do this in public.
You do? Great.
I do. I do like this. No joke.
Really?
Yeah, I will do that.
I love that.
I totally will. Or I'll be like standing there going like this, like, okay.
You're already doing it.
You never know where these things are going to go.
So cool. Okay. Where was I? All right. These feelings are trapped inside me.
These feelings are trapped inside me.
And I love and accept myself anyway.
And I love and accept myself anyway.
All right. Take a deep breath and tap on your head. Okay. This pattern is so old.
This pattern is so old.
I think it's become a part of me.
I think it's become a part of me.
All right. Tap on your eyebrow point. Even if this is something I can't accept.
Even if this is something I can't accept.
I'm open to loving and accepting myself.
I'm open to loving and accepting myself.
Side of the eye. But what if there was another way?
But what if there was another way?
I'm melting the negativity from my mind.
I'm melting the negativity from my mind.
Tap under your eye. I'm letting go of the negativity from my body.
I'm letting go of the negativity from my body.
Tap under your nose. And even if it's an old family pattern.
And even if it's an old family pattern.
I'm ready for a shift.
I'm ready for a shift.
Chin point. Even if it's what society tells me.
Even if it's what society tells me.
I'm ready for a change.
I'm ready for a change.
Collarbone point. Even if it's what my parents told me was true.
Even if it's what my parents told me was true.
I don't have to keep operating like this.
I don't have to keep operating like this.
All right, tap your wrists together. I'm open to finding another way.
I'm open to finding another way.
As much as I want to ignore this.
as much as I want to ignore this,
Tap on the top of your head. As much as I want to forget about it,
as much as I want to forget about it,
I'm creating an energetic shift
I'm creating an energetic shift
to improve my life.
to improve my life
Eyebrow point, and also to help my family,
and also to help my family,
my pets,
my pets,
side of the eye, my community,
my community,
and more importantly, myself.
and more importantly, myself.
All right, tap under your eyes. I give myself permission
I give myself permission
to release the anxiety and stress.
to release the anxiety and stress.
Tap under your nose. I'm willing to look at this
I'm willing to look at this
and how I'm operating.
and how I'm operating.
Chin point. Is this serving me?
Is this serving me?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Collarbone point. I'm open to loving and respecting myself.
I'm open to loving and respecting myself.
Okay, tap your wrists together. And even if I cling to this old fear,
And even if I cling to this old fear,
it's going to be okay.
it's going to be okay.
All right, tap on the top of your head and just check in with yourself and see where this stress lives in your body. You can close your eyes and do a body scan and just say, is it in my head, my throat, my back, my chest, my stomach, my knees, my feet, my legs? Do you sense it anywhere?
Can it be in multiple places?
Sure.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So just choose the place in your body where it's really acting up the most.
Okay.
All right, we'll tap on our eyebrow point, and we're just going to surround it with love and compassion because that's really what the body wants. We don't want to shoo away the negativity. We want to just give it a voice and allow it to be heard. So let's just pretend it's a warm summer night and we're going to catch it like a firefly.
Okay.
And just imagine that you have this beautiful glass mason jar and you're just going to surround it like a capsule. So just try to scoop up that negative feeling with the jar. And then when you're ready, we're just going to prop it up with pillows or a blanket and make it feel cozy and warm. You can tap on the side of your eye if you'd like. And we're just going to safely put the lid on it and just allowing it to be there. And tap under your eye and just say, it's safe to release this now.
It's safe to release this now.
Tap under your nose. I'm shaking off this old energy.
I'm shaking off this old energy.
Take a deep breath in through your nose and let it go. Chin point. I'm allowing myself to grow beyond this.
I'm allowing myself to grow beyond this.
I'm allowing myself to expand.
I'm allowing myself to expand.
And from this place, anything is possible.
And from this place, anything is possible.
All right, just gently stop tapping and close your eyes. And I want you to imagine a golden, sparkly, healing light. And it is draining your brain of any negative residue that may still be left. And just drop any emotional energy that you might still have going on. And you can just imagine that we're on the Jersey Shore right now, and you have your toes in the sand, and we're facing the ocean, and you're just dropping any negative emotions that you still have left. Just give it back and watch the waves take it away. And just soften your eyebrows. Soften the muscles behind your eyes. Soften your cheeks, your jaw, your throat, your arms, your shoulders. And then just bringing love into your heart and thanking yourself for trying this new tool modality tonight. And sending love to your organs and all the things they do for you without you having to tell them. And just feeling supported in your chair, relaxing your legs, your knees, softening your shins and your calves, as well as your ankles and your feet. And I want you to go back to that original thought. I'm not sure if you were tapping on stress or whatever it was. And I want you to tune in and see how intense it feels on a scale of 0, where it doesn't really bother you at all, and a scale of 10, where you can't really concentrate. Do you have a new number now?
Maybe a 6.
Okay, beautiful. How are you
6.
feeling otherwise?
I'm feeling way more relaxed than I was before.
Oh, good. So what'd you think? It's different, right?
It is different. It is different. But I liked the I mean, I didn't count how long that was, but I probably haven't sat still and like not been doing something
Mm-hmm.
for, it was at least 5 minutes. Was it 5 minutes?
I don't know. I
It
lost
felt like
track
a
of
long
time.
time.
It could have been 10 minutes.
I'm gonna have to look at the recording and see. Clock me, see if I actually sat for 10 minutes and didn't do something, like wasn't running and doing something. No, I liked the routine, I liked the rhythm. And like knowing that like this is where we're gonna go next, and this is where we're gonna go next, and this is where we're gonna go next. And I like words, so I know that the words we say to ourselves and the words we say to each other have so much power. And that I try to be really aware and cognizant of how I talk to myself, and how I talk to my kids and how I talk to people around me, because it's just so important that we use words that even when delivering criticism, or like when we need something else, like asking for what we need, being able to do it in a way that tells the other person we love them is really important. And that includes telling ourselves that as well. So
yeah, that's
I liked that.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, and one other thing I forgot to mention, there's ways that you know that EFT is working because you'll notice sensations in the body,
Okay.
and they call it off-gassing.
Okay.
So everybody experiences tapping a little bit differently, and these are the signs to look out for that you know that it's starting to work.
Okay.
You might feel dizzy. You might even yawn during the
Okay.
session. You might burp or fart,
Yeah.
no joke, and that's actually a good thing.
Okay.
You might get like hot or cold in your body. It's like energy is moving through you. Yeah, those are just a few, you might feel tingly inside, but yeah, those are some things to look out for that you know that it's actually working. Or you might tear. I cry a lot, so
Okay.
that's
That's
also
good to know.
good.
A good list of things to look out for. That was really cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
So we are at the end. So what I asked you before in the green room, but where can people find you, and what do you have coming up that you'd like to share?
Oh, sure. You could always find me on my website. It's Michele with one L, Santo.com, MicheleSanto.com. And I run a women's tapping circle, and we meet on Zoom. So from the comfort of your home, you could follow along and tap. And my next one is April 12th, and that's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we just spend an hour, and every time we meet, we are focusing on a new topic. So for the 12th, we're actually tapping into abundance. So my intention is to help people manifest more money. But if that's not an issue for you, you could always join us anyway, and you'll still get the benefits when you focus on what you want to bring in. It could be an abundance of health or something else.
Cool. Thank you. I think that's a great thing to focus
Yeah.
on. Okay. So, let's see if there's anything. Is there anything else you want to share that I didn't ask about?
I do have a video, like if somebody is new to EFT, I have a really great video of how to tap privately in public, like using the finger
Okay.
points.
Oh yeah.
So no one will actually know that you're freaking out.
Right. Um.
Um,
So is that
yeah,
on YouTube or something?
that, well, here's a funky link, but I can give you this link.
Okay. Because I'll put that in for anyone watching the replay. That'll be in the description.
Okay.
And then someday there'll be a blog post that goes up with this, and it'll be
Oh,
there
that's
too.
so nice.
Yeah.
Cool. I love that you stream everywhere. That's really nice.
It's fun. It's definitely fun. So, wherever you're watching this, thanks for jumping in and watching the replay. Thanks for the people that joined us live. It was lovely to have you. And if you're watching the replay, I hope that you took the time to sit there and tap with us because that was really neat. That was, yeah, I wasn't expecting. I knew it was coming, guys. Like I knew Michelle said, "Hey, can we do this thing?" And I said, "Sure." And I wasn't. I've been sort of in a panic because I wasn't sure. Like I kind of knew what EFT was, but I was like, all right, how is this conversation gonna go? Like, what are we gonna do? So total panic. So that was awesome. Maybe we should have done that in the beginning. But thank you, Michelle, so much for coming on and for sharing with me and for sharing with everyone else. And I'm so glad that we had this conversation.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gail. It was so nice to get to know you.
Likewise. All right, we're going to say goodbye. Ready? Bye.
See ya.